Here's a conversation I had with the Speaker of Parliament, Thoko Didiza, earlier this morning. Speaker, thank you so much for making time for us. Good morning.
Good morning, and how are you?
I'm good, as I have said before, my political crush.
Which actually took me by surprise.
I remember. I remember. Thank you so much for making time for us. It must have been busy, as always, Speaker, over the last couple of days. Is it all systems go for tonight?
It's all systems go for tonight, and we are happy that despite the weather, which is weathering, as the young people will say, we will have a good SONA, in my view.
Okay. And in terms of costs, let's start there. How are we looking this year compared to where we were last year?
We are looking reasonably well. The cost is more or less 7 million that we've spent for this year. And you recall that we could have kept to the same number last year had it not been for the challenges of the inclement weather, the gustly wind that we saw in Cape Town, which affected our overflow facility, which then we had to move to ICC and then make a booking which we had not planned for prior.
Are there any security concerns this year? I mean, previously at SONAs, they would have to beef up security in the chambers because you just don't know how some members of parliament may be planning. Do you have any of those concerns this year?
Well, you always plan, taking everything into consideration, but we've not had any reason to think that there might be anything untoward. Okay. And we trust that members will actually ensure that the decorum of SONA will be what it's supposed to be.
And invited guests, who are we looking at? Normally there are former presidents that are invited.
Precisely.
Who has been invited and who has accepted that investigation?
We invite all our former heads of state that are still living, the former presiding officers. We also invite political parties who also come, and our other guests, such as your religious fraternity who do the rotation, your state-owned companies, but also the judiciary who form part of the procession, as well as the speakers of the various provinces. We also invite our premiers of the respective provinces who also participate. South African local government representatives, they also come. Our diplomats, they also come. And the business community and our civil society. So it's a range of stakeholders that get invited. And
the former heads of states, all of them have confirmed that they'll be coming?
Well, we've received an apology for President Mbeki, who's traveling to the AU meeting in Addis, so he won't be able to come. We've received confirmation from President Halima, former President Zuma. We've received confirmation, and as you know, that we get confirmation, but it would happen for whatever reason unknown to us and maybe not even planned by the very guests that might mean the person is not coming.
Yeah. So there's been a lot of important work that Parliament has been doing lately, which includes, of course, what's been happening at the ad hoc committee. What are your reflections on how that committee has dealt with its witnesses, particularly Mr. Paul O'Sullivan and Brown Mokhosi, because you had to intervene at some point and ask them to do follow-ups so that this matter doesn't come back to haunt you if you don't follow all the processes. Do you think they did their job in dealing with specifically those two witnesses?
Yes, I must say that the committee, working with their evidence leader, have actually done tremendous work in ensuring that they respond to the mandate that Parliament had given to them after the public allegations that were made by General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi in July. And because of the enormity of the matter, and because of the role of Parliament in terms of oversight and holding our government accountable, they felt it was necessary that given these allegations, we need to first understand the veracity of them. Is there what is being alleged? To what extent? What needs to be done? What should be the role of Parliament and its portfolio committees, what could actually be done by the executive and other agencies of state. So through that process, they identified some of the witnesses that needed to come to the ad hoc committee who have done so. And there was challenge in respect of the two witnesses who then had made an application not to come physically but to actually do their evidence through online. And in the view of the ad hoc committee, they actually thought it would be best, not just for themselves, but also for the witnesses themselves to be physical in the committee. So after initial engagement, they then approached the Speaker to support them issuing the subpoenas to make sure that those witnesses come. And I think when the Speaker applied her mind, looked at the test, firstly, did the individuals refuse to appear before the Parliament, which in the view of the Speaker, there was no evidence of such. Both of them had. They applied to the committee and stated the reasons why they would want to have a virtual appearance. So the Speaker had to look at how has the committee addressed those concerns that were raised. And it was in that instance where the Speaker said, maybe not now.
Engage with them
address the reasons that are stated, whether they are reasonable, whether is there anything that you can do in order to make sure that the witnesses feel confident to come in front of the Parliament. And that's why we've seen one of the witnesses appearing, and I know that the committee has been engaging with the other witness with the hope that he may also consider what Parliament will do to address his security concerns that he had raised.
What is the normal process that Parliament often follows when it comes to addressing the security concerns? Because I would imagine if someone says, I fear for my life, shouldn't they be submitting some kind of a police security threat assessment of sorts so that informs your decision as Parliament?
That's exactly what our unit that deals with protection services in Parliament would do. When the person has indicated the security concerns, so the committee would also engage our protection services to see what security plan can they put in place, working obviously with our law enforcement agencies to make sure that the security concerns of the witness is addressed.
So in this case then, did Paul O'Sullivan provide a security threat assessment?
Well, that's the matter which, as you know, it's the purview of the law enforcement agency. I don't think it would be necessary or even important for the Speaker to outline what the agency and the law enforcement agency do. But when our security team engaged with him, he felt confident that what is being provided will make reasonable, conviction for him to come.
And just lastly, are there circumstances where Parliament can pay for the security of the witnesses? Because part of what Brown Mokhotsi argued is that he uses advanced security. So these are former special ops, and parliamentary protection services are not as advanced as his security. So he would want you to rather pay for his personal security as opposed to use Parliament security.
As I say, that Parliament will engage with what the witness is saying. Parliament works with our law enforcement agencies of the country. They would then determine whether what the witness is raising is reasonable and will act accordingly.
All right. Thoko Didiza, Speaker of Parliament, thank you so much for making time for us, and all the best.
Thank you very much.
So that is the Speaker of Parliament, Thoko Didiza, as we look ahead to the State of the Nation address by President Cyril Ramaphosa